Taylor Ellwood here, and welcome to the latest episode of the Magical Experiments podcast. I hope you've been enjoying the cutting edge content that I've been releasing as I've been interviewing some of the most notable voices in contemporary occultism and magical practice. And I hope you've also been enjoying these solo videos. Now, if you are a subscriber on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe here. Comment. And if you're a Substack subscriber, could you just do me a favor and heart and share this content? Because this is what helps other people discover the cutting edge magic that gets you better results. And I want to make sure that you know about the upcoming class that I'm going to be teaching, Advanced Spirit Communication. If you've been wanting to get better results with your magical practice around spirit work, you're going to want to take this class. It's a 6-week course. I've designed it with 3 different levels of payment plans, so you can definitely, it's definitely affordable and accessible for anyone who wants to take it. And in this class, we're going to be talking about how to get better results with spirits by creating a collaborative relationship. I'm going to be talking about how to enhance your psychic senses and awareness. And we're going to be talking about different techniques and practices that I've developed that are unique to my system of spirit work. And they get me better results, and they get my clients better results. And if you want better results for your spirit work, then you're going to want to sign up for this class. It starts February 11th, and you can find the link below. All right, so let's get into the podcast here. So one of the questions that I was asked was a really interesting question around visualization. And the person basically was asking me, what is the purpose of visualization? Which I get, it's a little bit of a confusing one. Like, what is the role of visualization in rituals? Do we just visualize our goals or also deities or energies? It's a great question. And it kind of got me thinking that about it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to term this a little bit differently. Is visualization cracked up? Is it everything that it's all that it's cracked up to be? I'm going to give you my very frank and candid answer about visualization, what I think about visualization. So buckle up. I think visualization is overrated in magical practice. I think it is actually one of the practices that is turned to way too often in order for people to quote unquote get results. And the problem is it's kind of like a new age feel good mentality. Like, well, if I do a visualization of love and light, that's going to make everything all right. Well, hate to burst your bubble here, but that doesn't work. Now, do I think that there's a role for visualization? Yes. For example, I use path workings in my magical practice when I'm connecting with spirits, and visualization is part of the path working process. I create a multi-somatic experience. A body, the somatic bodily experience, the smell, the taste, the sound, and the sight. And of course, we're also cultivating the psychic senses, the clairs, clairaudience, clairvoyance, the kinesthetic awareness, all of that. When we do spirit work, for example, we're trying to create an experience with the spirit that brings that connection fully to life. And this is one of the reasons why spirits are anthropomorphized, because if you can visualize the spirit in a familiar form, it makes it possible for that spirit to appear, and for you to work with that spirit, it feels more real. And initially, when people start out, visualization can be great, because the reality is that most people are sight-oriented. If you're blind, you're not. You're using other senses. And this is one of the weaknesses in occult practices, is that if you do not have the same vision that other people have, like what good does visualization even do? You have to develop alternate practices. But for most people, sight is the primary experience, and that's true whether you're wearing glasses or contacts or not. We rely on our sight, and we are very visually inclined for the most part, and that works great right up until it doesn't. So I will use visualization in path workings. I don't use visualization for pretty much anything else in magic anymore. I got out of visualization a long time ago. For example, when people talk about astral projection, a lot of times they're using visualization. And the question I always have is, well, have you even astrally projected? Or are you just fooling yourself? Are you thinking that you've astrally projected? And I'm kind of suspicious about that, because the fact of the matter is I don't really know that people are actually astrally projecting. Are they telling themselves they've astrally projected? Or are they actually astrally projecting? This is a crucial question to ask ourselves. I suspect that they're probably not astrally projecting. Can astral projection actually happen? Sure. Do we need it to happen through visualization? No. One of the most brilliant books that I read a long time ago was a book called Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce. And in it, he basically showed a kinesthetic approach where you could pull yourself out of your body by using the kinesthetic awareness and then astral project. And I appreciated that. I'll level with you. I don't do a lot of work with astral projection at this point in time. I find that it removes me from the bodily experience, and in my opinion, magic is better worked when we are doing it through the body. There's a reason we have bodies, and I'll get into that more in another video sometime. But just something for you to consider and drop into. Kinesthetic awareness is key with that, and so really, when we look at kinesthetic awareness, we're not just looking at the sensation of feeling. We're looking at temperature. We're looking at how the body reacts to the environment around us. Your body has a fine-tuned awareness that extends across multiple layers of experience. So it's not just experiencing the physical world, it's experiencing the spiritual world also. But here's the truth. The spiritual and the physical world aren't actually separate. A lot of times we treat them as separate. Like, here's the physical world over here. Here's the spiritual. But really, they're one and the same. They're blended together. The reason why we have separated it out really boils down to dominant religions that have created an emphasis on trying to get the fuck out of Dodge as soon as possible and go to heaven, right? All the major religions, it's a go to heaven, go to nirvana, go somewhere else other than bodily existence, because physical existence is suffering. I don't agree with that at all. And as magicians, we really have to question that. A large part of what seems to be suffering has a lot more to do with the experiences that we're applying to the situation. Now, don't get me wrong. If I have someone hit me in the face, that's going to hurt. And there's a difference between hurt and suffering. Suffering is a mentality, a perspective. Hurt is an experience. There's a very real difference between the two. So when we look at magical practices around visualization, we have to really question what the role of visualization is. Does it actually help us? When you look at a lot of ceremonial magic, for example, there's instructions for visualization. Well, what am I really doing? I'm essentially trying to get into the experience by visualizing, by creating an artificial environment, but I'm not actually being fully in the experience. And that's a real problem magically. I want to be fully in the experience. When I am fully in the experience, then I am fully present to the experience. And this transforms the way that we show up in our lives. It transforms the way we show up in our magical practice. It shows up in everything that we do. And this is really essential. A lot of magical practice would be better served if we got rid of the visualization aspects to it. And so, when people talk, for example, about like visualizing, in the question that was asked me, do we visualize goals or deities or energies? Well, again, like you can do visualizations around spirits, and that can be useful in short term. Long term, it's not. In fact, in the class that I'm going to be teaching that I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I do is I wean you off of visualization as soon as I possibly can. Because I don't want you visualizing the magic. I want you fully embodied and experiencing the connection with the spirits. I don't talk about visualizing goals. You know why? Because visualizing goals doesn't mean squat. Visualizing results doesn't mean anything. It's just you getting caught up in a fantasy. And when you get caught up in fantasy, you don't turn that into reality. How do we create the results in our lives? We take practical actions. Those practical actions can include magical actions. They can include spirit work. They can include other things, but they'll also include quote unquote mundane actions. Like, for example, I'm not going to visualize my teeth being clean and white. I'm going to go and pick up a toothbrush and brush my teeth. And in the process, I may feel into that experience and apply a spiritual dimension to it. I'm not just cleaning my teeth or my mouth. I'm cleaning the way that I speak. I'm cleaning how I show up. And that's not visualization, though. That is a felt experience. Do you see the difference? So we're not, and visualizing energy, like what does that even mean? How can you really, I guess I could imagine that I have red energy or something like that, but it doesn't really mean anything. I don't think visualization is all it's cracked up to be. I think it is actually one of the most disempowered processes around magic, and I think it basically creates a lot of lazy magicians who don't get results. And here at Magical Experiments, we're all about cutting edge magic. We're all about getting results. I don't teach what I teach to just help you feel good about yourself. I teach what I teach because it gets you results, because it transforms your life, because it helps you get somewhere. Because it helps you take on the identity and the process and the practice so that you can become the person that you want to become and you can create the magical life that you want to live. And I know there's some people, I have a spiritual mentor who says, like, it's not all about results, and I respect him and everything else. And at the same time, what I kind of want to say to him, and really anyone else who says that, is, well, actually it is about results. Because the fact of the matter is, even if you're just doing a practice for spiritual communion or whatever else, you're doing it for a result. You are trying to get something from it. Let's own that. Let's take responsibility for what we are doing and own it. Cutting edge magic, cutting edge experimentation. I'm all about creating change, about getting results, about asking questions, about doing the work. And that's why you're here, right? You're watching this because you want to do something different with your magical practice. You're tired of the same old, same old. You're tired of doing what everyone else has told you to do with your life. And guess what? You should be. You should be tired of reading the same 101 books that are schlocked out there by the big publishers. You should be tired of doing the same practices that so many other people put out there. Like, where's the innovation? Where's the challenge? Where is the opportunity to lean in and discover your edge? That's what we're about. So I question how effective visualization is because based on my own experiences and based on what other people shared with me, I don't see that it's very effective. It doesn't get the results that transform your life. And that's what you want, right? That's why you're here. You're here to get better results. So my challenge for you is, what can you change about your magical practice around visualization? Where can you lean in and discover your edge? Now, if you want some help with that, I want you to reach out. Connect with me. Drop a comment below. Share some of your own thoughts and ideas and experiences around visualization, and share where you'd like to see things go, how you'd like to improve your magical practice. And if you're interested, yeah, come on into the Advanced Spirit Communication class, because we're going to be doing some really transformative spiritual work that is going to blow the doors off that old saw of visualization. There's a lot more to magical practice than visualization. It has its purpose. It's great for creating an altered state of awareness, of helping you to, in the short term, kind of feel in or discover an experience. And it's not all it's cracked up to be. There's so much more. And I want to share that with you here at Magical Experiments. All right, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next week with another cutting edge magical innovator who I'll be talking with about the future of magic. All right, take care.